Alright guys, time to go back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News, and so much has happened over these last 24 hours. Loads of roster news to dive into, some rumours coming through as well, especially on the FaZe Clan side, but also lots of updates coming through with Season 4 here in Valorant. Many changes to the weapon meta. Bind has also received some changes, and some reaction from the pro players does ensue. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do. Tell this channel to reach new people. Please subscribe as well if you have not yet already. Loads of new subs, just love to see it. Let's try and hit the best we can going into the season. Firstly, this and Valor Leaks, big update frankly with regard to ranked. To play in ranked now, first of all, if your account is not level 20 but you have already unlocked ranked, then you don't have to actually get to level 20. But getting to level 20 is going to take a long time. That's a lot of XP, right? Might take you a month or whatever of playing relatively consistently to get to the level. So instead of having only 10 wins required to unlocked rank and unranked, you now need to be a level 20, so this should eliminate the smurfs to some degree, but that's a pretty big change, quite frankly, to the way ranked is going to work in the game going forwards. So, well, firstly, let's talk about some roster stuff. Yesterday, we discussed the fact that Vision Strikers may be rebranding to DRX Global. That's what's going to happen. Welcome you to a new era for Vision Strikers. So, I guess the name they're going by is DRX VS, so they still kind of have Vision Strikers within their name, but, by being acquired by DRX Global, they're now kind of changing their name. So, that's, obviously a pretty big change right to the branding of the roster. The strength of the team shouldn't be changing all that much, but of course they are making some kind of interesting roster decisions as well that I'll try and keep you guys updated on over the coming days if we find out more about it. This is also from Giants, that they confirmed their roster going into next year. Their team got kind of gutted after G2 came through and decided to take pretty much all the best players off their roster. So they're now building a new roster, as you guys can see right here. Wishing them the best of luck, of course, going into 2022. Now, other changes have been going down as well. For example, Guild Esports, they confirmed the addition of Trex, Russ, and also Coldamenta, formerly of G2, joining their roster. Right now, where Keylockt is going to go from G2 is pretty much up in the air. Some people were saying, okay, maybe 100 Thieves try and get him on. It's it's difficult to say exactly which player they might need, because they kind of need a Jet player, but some have been saying, okay, could Ethan go to the Jet? Do they get someone else in? Like, it's kind of a weird situation. 100 Thieves are going through. No new rumors on that front really these last couple of days, but Coldamenta is going to go to Guild. They're going for this more international approach right now. So they're of course trying to rebuild of the roster that just fell short of going to Champions in the European Last Chance qualifier at the end of last year. But Coldamenta joining this roster, as you guys can well see. This also from Fnatic, still questions being raised, who's going to be their fifth player. Now I don't know how I'm meant to pronounce this, maybe Indra, something like that. Like, obviously it's a 1, so I just don't understand where they come up with these names from. But this is a player I haven't really heard of. Relatively unknown player, but I think it's had some trials with some other rosters very recently, and seems to be a pretty promising talent. So potentially could be Fnatic's Sova player, so definitely someone to keep your eyes on there, because Fnatic still have to decide what their roster is going to be going into the new season as well. So many big name teams still trying to finalize what their roster is going to be. For example, FaZe Clan are certainly another one. So we've got Flyer, we've got Baby Bear, of course, who is staying, and Larry Banks as well. Those are kind of the 3 that we kind of knew that might well be happening. Now, the 2 others that may well be joining the roster, Dicey and Shot Up, to complete the team. We discussed Dicey a couple of days ago that was rumored. Shot Up apparently is going to be the 5th player on their roster, and a really interesting team, to be honest. Going to have to be some several role changes, but still, it kind of seems like a lot of people would argue that the last team that FaZe Clan had was kind of like a mishmash of players that kind of worked, but then didn't really have the cohesion and the consistency to compete at the very highest of levels. And a lot of people would look at this team and say, okay, it's actually a pretty similar thing. You're just kind of mishmashing players together and hope they work. Not really sure who the IGL is going to be right here. Some people would say it was Flyer, maybe Baby Bear, and some of the other guys can contribute to some degree, but it definitely seems, once again, if they do go with this, it's not clear that this seems going to be successful, right? There's no known quantities here in a sense that I'm really happy for Dicey, right, getting this opportunity once again, but and Larry Banks as well. It's pretty cool to see that name in there, but it's far from confirmed or far from guaranteed this team is going to be mega successful. But Shot Up seems relatively confident. Firstly, this from Purist, he says that Shot Up has been playing Astra in scrims, so that is apparently what they might be going down the route of in terms of roles. It's definitely tough to say if this is going to be successful or not. Definitely intrigued to your perspective down below if, of course, they do go down this route and will sign these guys to the roster. But as Shot Up says right here, of course, not confirming the roster, but just confirming he may well be somewhere. Haven't felt this confident in a roster ever. We saw a similar thing really that the TSM guys were saying probably a month and a half ago. I don't even know at this point, given they haven't even confirmed their roster as of yet. But yeah, Shot Up very confident, it seems, in this new FaZe team. But whether that that translates into actual results, I guess we'll see when the season does begin. This also from your boy Dre over at LG real quick, just to mention, because this was noticed, because it then got deleted. You do everything for a team and some of them will still try and go behind your back and ruin your career. Some people in this scene are different. So maybe describing how he might be getting dropped from LG, something might be going on there. He's talking about snakes, like, you know, a bit of drama might be hitting the timeline here, since deleted it seems. So yeah, maybe something's going on there over at the Luminosity side. I guess it will keep you guys updated on that front. Let's talk about the changes that are coming to Valorant over these last couple of days. We discussed Breeze yesterday, right? We discussed Neon as well, how she's been added to the game. Seems to be very strong, honestly, in ranked. Whether that converts into competitive professional play, but at the same time, some people said at the start of the game that Jett was never going to be a useful agent in professional play, just going to be kind of a ranked agent that's good in the kind of, well, puggy type format, and, well, maybe Neon is in a similar boat and actually gets used also in competitive. So no agent changes have come through, no agent updates, no agent nerfs as yet. Maybe some are coming, but pretty much everything else in the game has changed to some degree. So the Ares has been buffed, right? The LMG in the game, the spin-up has been removed off the weapon, and the fire rate has also been increased. So this gun got quite significantly better now. It was already pretty strong, and I mean, now that those Sage walls are going to get demolished in no time at all, right? And on maps like Ascent, right, there's going to be some more options there with the wall bangs. So, well, interesting stuff. I think, well, kind of interesting to buff it, really. I guess they wanted it to be used a little bit more in competitive, but that's something that is going on. The Guardian also, of course, not incredibly well used, but still a weapon that can be pulled out from time to time. The ADS shooting speed is now the same as the non-ADS shooting speed, so just kind of aligning things a little bit more on that weapon. Also, the Spectre has been nerfed in regard to shooting at long ranges. Now, interesting one, right? Because I don't really think the long-range combat is the frustration with the Spectre. It already does low damage. Like, it's difficult to shoot people at long ranges anyway. The accuracy isn't the best. It's kind of the close-range run and gun that really frustrates people. Someone comes flying around a corner with a Spectre, you know, unlucky, right? So you're just going to be dead. So, you know, it's kind of that frustrates people. So maybe it isn't quite the right nerf, right, in targeting some of the frustrations that people have with the Spectre. But I guess it's been nerfed to some degree regardless, which can't necessarily be a bad thing, some people would say. But, well, let's talk about this that's going on with Bind. We talked about the Breeze changes that happened yesterday. These are the Bind change, so they haven't changed all that much, apart from, as you can see in the foreground, this, well, this box right here that now has the steps you can get up on top of. So it gives you a different option to tackle this A site. So instead of just having to come around the corner and into a massive choke point, and it's really easy to block off this choke point as well with walls and stuff like that. Now, because you can get up on this box, there's more ways you can tackle this. So personally, I think this is quite a nice idea, but I mean, still, it maybe doesn't fix some of the core issues with the map, as Steel is going to describe here in a second. And, well, some of the pros don't really think that this should be played anyway. Not a map that's particularly popular in the competitive scene right now. Doesn't really have a middle of the map. Like, there's all these kind of strange things about it. And this probably, maybe it's a positive thing, but it probably doesn't just solve the map in one foul swoop, to be honest. But still, it is a change that probably takes the map somewhat in the right direction. This also from Steel, right, just to describe, of course, on the T1 side now, as their IGL, their entire team is certainly yet to be confirmed. But, well, defaulting isn't really a thing on this map. There's no middle, right, which is probably a fair point about Bind. That seems to be what generally the pros think about this map. Okay, though, what if we made steps to the double box and A short, though? It's basically saying, like, look, they haven't really tackled the problem that they should be tackling with the state of this map. And, you know, a lot of people just say, like, let's just get rid of this map out of the rotation and get something in there instead. Also, this from the melee changes, the knife has pretty much been buffed in the game right now. So the right-click hitboxes are now 1.5% larger, and the left-click hitboxes are now larger than the right-click and have a longer range. Targets closer to the center of your knife attacks will get hit first, so you still have precision if you need it. So it's an interesting one. The knife has got better. Of course, I'm not used maybe as much in this game as it is elsewhere, and I mean, still, knives get better, so maybe there's some more options to get some knives through, like, Astra walls and stuff like this that, you know, we've seen over these last several months. But another rather interesting change, frankly, coming to the game. This also to mention on Breeze, because we discussed yesterday the changes that are being made over there. And, you know, there's also this thing that's happening on the A-bomb site where the door on A can no longer be reactivated until it is finished opening or closing. So it was kind of a thing you could do to play with people, just make it go up and down and stuff. And, I mean, now that's no longer the case. So another change that is going on that front. So definitely a few changes on Breeze. Well, seemingly a change here on Bind, some weapon updates as well, but no real changes as yet. It seems to, well, the agent, right, and the agent balancing, there was some rumors that a Jett nerf might be in the works. I'm sure there are other meta changes that are going to happen for the agents coming relatively soon. But of course, if they change them like next week or something, then, you know, then we're going to find things change quite significantly before everything actually kicks off for the season, right? Because there's big events, really important events coming very soon indeed. So, of course, well, Neon is now playable right in the game. That the whole, like, finger blasting thing that people have been talking about right here, that she can do. do with their ultimate is, I mean, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on this agent right now. Not sure how viable it is in all circumstances. Feels like a bit of a strange agent, but I mean, yeah, certainly in competitive play, in ranked play, for example, very powerful indeed in certain situations. This, for example, I saw from Average Jonas last night. That was a pretty incredible play that, well, apparently is pretty viable right now. You get the judge out, you sprint over, you slide, and then unlucky to these fellas, they get all mopped down right at the start of the game, and the round is won within about 2 seconds. So, you know, apparently this is a viable play, and I mean, maybe, like, I don't know, this kind of changes the game to where Valorant wasn't really before. It's adding some strange stuff to the game, and whether this will be viable in professional play, I guess the pros will have to actually find out whether this could be possible. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on a like button, tell us a YouTube god this is a good video, others like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Valorant community. Thank you much as always, take care, and I will see you next time.